YouTube, what's going on? It's Bruised again. I'm back. I wanted to provide a bit of an update and kind of just do some more content on PoE. I'm making another character right now, but I wanted to come back to this character really quick and just provide like an end update, where this character finished, how well did it do, how well is it doing, and where do I think it could go. I will give two quick disclaimers before we start. One is that if you're just looking to look at the POB and then just call it a day and just be like, what does this look like? It'll be in the description. You can just grab it and go. Be on your merry way. I understand. I get it too. The other thing, if you're looking for more of a bossing build, if you're a bosser and not like, you don't really care about mapping or anything like that, I'll be honest, the Ice Spear version is going to be your jam. You're gonna get more DPS for bossing, for doing Ubers and that kind of content out of an Ice Spear. Now, can this build do everything except for Ubers, and maybe could it do Ubers with like some tweaking, or if you're good at the fights? Absolutely. Absolutely it can. But that is just sort of the disclaimers that I've come to realize as I've been playing the build, and I've been having so much fun with this version of the build. So I'm going to do one quick run with Drox, just because I'm kind of saving fragments for my other character for bossing, just to like test TPS and all that good stuff. Also, I just realized I have no music going, so let's play some music too, get some tunage. Alright. And with that, let's go kill Drox really quick. I'm just gonna show off Drox kill, and then after that, I'm going to pivot and just kind of show where I've left the gear on the character and maybe kind of talk about, oh, what an annoying map. But kind of talk about like what gear I have on the character, where else I would get gear. I might 100% die here. We'll see. Just kind of like what gear I would do, where my gear is right now. Because I'll be honest, after the video that I posted, I kind of just kept playing this character because I was having so much fun with it, and I still am. And I just kind of just went, I went really ham, just grinding on this character, getting it up. Now it's level 9. She's at level 94. And I found a couple upgrades, made a couple changes, and I swear it was like the DPS just suddenly flicked on. Like I just found the on switch for the DPS, and I hit that shit. And there is no turning back ever since, and it's been great. The build is a lot of fun. Oh god. Am I still squishy? Yes, I didn't really solve that issue, but you know, I'm a standard player, so what does that mean? I have 6 portals of defense, that's all I need. 6 portals is all I need. But this character has done a lot of content at this point. It's killed Maven, it's killed Sirius, it's killed Uber Elder, and then just the normal bosses, you know, Shaper, Elder of course. Elder is super easy. You know, Katarina, dead easy, all that kind of stuff. I even killed Katarina at the end of the previous video. Oh, that's not very fun though. Please either move away or perish. I think I got it. Yeah, I got it. Okay. Oof. Really wish I had read which map this was before I come in here, because while this character can do this, holy crap, the maze map tile is not fun to run in. I hate it here. Hiya! And just gonna, oh, want my orbs. Yep. Doo-doo-doo. But yeah, I feel like this also, I can't remember, I should have gone back and watched my video again really quick. I don't remember if I had mana solved or if I was still using a mana flask in the last video. I have since solved mana just by virtue of getting a Viridian Jewel with fizz damage leached as mana, because Tornado Shot is not converted damage-wise at all. So therefore, you can use one of those jewels, and Tornado Shot. Okay, that is a lot of jewelers. I'm actually gonna pick those up because I'm actually kind of short on jewelers right now. So Tornado Shot will actually just do all of that good stuff for you, and just leech all your mana for you. So you love to see it. All right, we're doing it. We're doing a pit stop. Doing a pit stop. I need all these things. I need them all. Oh, barely enough room. Let's go, dude. All right, and then it's this boss. That's pretty annoying, actually. He's gonna get up and zap the shit out of me, and there's nothing I can do. Oh god. Oh god. He is though. Okay. Whew. I can't believe I actually lived any of his electrocuting. What's one more indeed, Drux? What's one more? Yeah, you can see it literally instant phased him. Instant phased. He's got nothing. Oop. And I know, you know, Drox isn't the most exciting one to show off because it's fucking Drox. It's not like he's really tanky, but I wouldn't say he's difficult. As I die from, as soon as I said that, I knew it was coming as soon as I said something. I was like, I talk shit, he's gonna absolutely drop something on me and I'm gonna die. That was deserved. But I mean, flag drop, what am I gonna do? Outside of, you know, look out for it and get out of the way. But yeah, anyway, that is this character. And I think this character turned out really, really well. It ended up really being strong. It's alright. Alright, I forgot about this Moth Conquest. So it turned out really well, it turned out really strong, and I'm quite happy with it. So real quick, let's just kind of go over the gear. I'll talk about on how to, at least some of the important pieces. I'll talk about how to get some of them or how to craft them, because I crafted actually most of the gear on this character. I think, oh god, what did I buy? I think I bought the boots. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I bought the boots, and then like the uniques I bought, obviously. Like I bought S&S, I bought Maloney's, but both of those are stupid cheap. So they're really nothing. And I think I bought one of my cluster jewels. The other one I just crafted by hand. I think it was this one? I think it was this one I bought. So yeah, so let's kind of talk about it real quick. So first off, the bow. The bow is the most important piece. You cannot skimp on this. So if you're going to do it, you have to get... You basically want, I'll say it as well, you want to get a spine bow. Do a spine bow with Shaper Influence. And the reason for that is that it has it's a 1.4 attack, so it has, by base, so it has actually quite good attack speed. But its critical strike chance is 6.5% by default, which I believe is the highest. I believe that's the highest of the bases, and that's why you do it. I think everything else is lower. It's even like 6.4, slightly lower. So it's a really good base. It's a very good base for bows. Okay, so all that you do if you're going to do this is you literally just spam Deafening Essence of Woe, because bows cannot roll spell damage by default. You roll Deafening Essence of Woe or Shrieking. I think the roll that I have right now is a Shrieking roll, just whatever you want to buy and throw at it. You just keep rolling Essence on it until it hits the cast on critical strike. If you hit level 20, awesome. But the two prefixes that you want is the spell damage and the cast on critical strike. Those are the two most important. The third one, I mean, +1 the Socket Gems is the absolute, probably the best roll that you can hit, but there are other decent rolls here. I would say don't worry about it too terribly much. After that, assuming that you have an open suffix, all that you'll do is craft prefixes cannot be changed. You'll throw that on the bow, and then I personally hit it with a Veiled Chaos Orb. You could also do a speed craft, or if you feel like you don't have enough crit, you could do a crit craft out of Harvest, and then just see whatever you get from there, and then work on it. Ideally you want probably more attack speed though, or double damage while focused, or if you're somebody who doesn't like focus and you just want to double damage instead, there you go for it, just use double damage. So I kind of leave that up to anyone's discretion to do. Veiled Chaos Orbs, very handy though. You can hit a lot of very spicy rolls, so that's why I kind of recommend Veiled Chaos Orbs. Moving on from the bow, we have the chest piece. Chest piece is probably the second most important piece because it has three very, very important stats here. You have the attack critical strike chance up, which is very nice because it's going to actually let you crit more and set off more fireballs then, therefore. Apply additional curse, which is good because you'll need that in order to apply either flammability or LE weakness along with your Sniper's Mark. And then the power charge on critical strike also is just very handy. I would say you don't have to make the power charge on crit strike. You don't have to use power charges if you have enough crit already and you feel like you have enough as is. then I would say you don't really need to worry about the power charge on crits. I just personally like it, and I happen to have a good base for it and a good slot open to throw at it, so I went for it and hit at least a decent roll. But the two most important ones are you can apply an additional curse, and attacks have critical strike chance, which is just a hunter base. The best way of getting that is to get your hunter base, get it all set up, come in here and just spam, come into your Horticraft station and harvest, come over here and just spam critical, reroll more likely, reforge with random odds including a crit modifier. You want to hit that until you hit the critical strike chance roll. You can hit higher than 1.2. Make sure that it's tier 1 though, just because tier 1 makes actually a pretty big difference. It goes up to 1.5%. I stopped at 1.22 because at the time I was running low on harvest juice and I wasn't about to farm it. So what you do, you spam it till you have crit, spam it till you have attacks have the modifier chance, a good bit. If it hits other good suffixes too, awesome. And then all that you'll do is you'll lock suffixes in place in crafting bench, so you'll craft suffixes cannot be changed. Suffixes cannot be changed. And then you'll go back over to Horticraft and you will do a caster modifier. You'll do Reforge with caster modifier. That absolutely guarantees you can apply an additional curse. It absolutely guarantees it. And there you go. Then you have a really good hunter chest. I found a lot of the time as well, it doesn't really... I found a lot of the time it really just hits the you can apply an additional curse, and then you have 2 open prefix slots. So, you know, craft life there. If you feel like slamming and being an absolute chad, then, you know, by all means, go for it. Slam an Exalted Orb, or do, you can Beastcraft something onto it. Do what you like. But there you go. That's the chess piece. Astronaut's, I will say I have Phantasmal Rolling Magma, Divergent Blazing Salvo in here. I think you could swap out either of these realistically. I think Blazing Salvo is definitely the more damage of the two, and is really good. But I've tested things in this, like I tested Firestorm, I tested Armageddon Brand, and I tested Flame Wall, and all 3 of those I think are very good. The only problem with Firestorm is that you can't see anything in a build where it's already very difficult to see things. Firestorm just makes it that much worse. Armageddon Brand felt like the worst of the 3. It was fine, but because you don't have cast speed, which is what makes Armageddon Brand trigger more and deal more damage, it felt kind of mid. And then Flame Wall, I think, is probably the best option of the 3 to replace one of these 2 with. If you want to, makes your projectiles deal more damage as they're passing through the wall, all that kind of good stuff. Just puts down a dot on the ground in general. It's not a bad pick. So I think you couldn't go wrong with either of those if you didn't feel like doing with Rolling Magma and Blazing Salvo. I personally really enjoyed both of these. But the hat, I will say, Astronaut's Mark is required for this. You do want to have an Astronaut's Mark. Maloney's, this one I think you could actually get away with not using. You could probably get away with not using a Maloney's. And I think instead you would just drop Frenzy. Maybe instead you put here like an Anomalous, I think, Blood Rage, which gives you Frenzy charges on hit. If you want to generate Frenzy charges, I really don't think that you need this. I think it's a nice thing to have. It kind of makes things easier. And if you're asking Bruce, why aren't you just using Flammability here instead of LE Weakness? I POB'd it, and the damage wasn't that much more if I did Flammability versus LE Weakness, it was looking like. And I already had this at 2020, and I was not going to bother leveling up another gem, even though I could level it up in the background. I'm just that lazy. So if you weren't going to do that, I think you just drop this, you put a rare quiver here, maybe a 2-point, probably just a 2-point spike quiver, or maybe a broadhead for the attack speed, and you just roll it for whatever you need it to hit. I don't know if there are any good modifiers from a different perspective, like Hunter or anything like that. There might be something really good, not 100% sure. And then the other thing, and then, if you did that though, you would also want your ring. You still want it to be a Warlord ring, but you'd want it to have the flammability on hit instead. I just, again, went with the LE Weakness. Something else here, if you have an Ashes of the Stars, then A, what are you doing? Just run the Ice Spear version, probably. And 2, you'll be in an insane spot. This amulet just kind of fit what I needed it to do. And again, if you wanted to, you could do Try Curse. And you would instead allocate Whispers of Doom, or you could take Whispers of Doom on the tree. We path right to it. So if you wanted to put the 4 points, whatever that is, to get Whispers of Doom, can't say I'd blame you. and just respec elsewhere, and then you could still put flammability on your ring. I, again, just decided not to go that route, just left Ellie weakness in there, just going with 2 curses. I think that's kind of do whatever you want. I POB'd that, and it didn't look like it was too much better. Maybe it is a lot better, like in harder content, but as I was looking at it, it didn't look that much better. So it's just an amulet. It just fills what I needed it to do. Just had some good crit multi, had some life, had all res, had an open prefix just so I could craft the non-channeling skills, just to really kind of keep driving down the mana cost of spells, which is a pretty big deal with this build. The ring, this thing trolled the ever-living hell out of me for so long, and it's still like, it's good, don't get me wrong, this is a good ring, but it also could certainly use to be better, like if it had, you know, life. Anyway, all that you do to get a ring like this, or a ring similar to this, and I will say that the added fire damage against ignited enemies is very big, because Fireball ignites enemies, and with how many times you're hitting them with Fireball, they pretty much are guaranteed to be ignited, so this adds a lot of damage to your build. Literally all that I did for this, though, was just spam Chaotic Resonators with Scorched Fossils, or you could also Horde a Craft and just do Fire Modifiers. Whatever you want to do there, I think you can't go wrong either way. You'll eventually hit something good, just as long as it fits the rest of what you need. If you want to do the Flammability, then you roll till you hit Flammability, and then you try to hit the add fire damage against ignited enemies, because again, it's mini damage. Alternatively, what you can do is you get the ring set up, and then you slam it with the Warlord's Exalted Orb, and hope that it hits the damage against ignited enemies in the prefix slot. So you need to have an open prefix slot for that. I think it's okay, but also at the same time, you might as well try. If you hit it, then awesome. If you don't hit it, then you re-roll it. It is what it is. That's basically, I'm pretty sure that's what I did, actually, and I missed. This ring, just another solid ring, you know, just has resistances, has a little bit of accuracy, some life, all that good stuff, some more fire damage. This just covered by resistances and other things it needed it to. Belt here is basically the same as the ring. You don't have to do this. Like, this is just more damage, more fire damage against burning enemies, which is, again, good. Everything's ignited. But it was also a pain to roll this thing. It's the same way, though. You put a Warlord thing on it, you try to slam it into your prefix slot, you hope that it hits the fire damage against burning enemies. For me, it hit increased armor, I think. And then I was very sad. And then I re-rolled it with, again, more Scorched Fossils until I hit this, and it's still not a very good roll. That's a tier 3 damage against burning enemies, but this thing trolled me so hard that I refused to. It gave me something decent, and I just said whatever. I refused to do anything else with this thing. It absolutely just destroyed me for too long. Yeah, and I think those are sort of the main parts. Otherwise, the gloves, all that you want for the implicits is you just want the Searing Exarch, Eater Worlds, fire exposure on hit, chance to unnerve enemies. You're looking good. If you can as well, also you could get the Temple mod for added fire damage against burning enemies there as well. Again, just adding way more fire damage. So yeah, you just get yourself, if you can get yourself a decent pair, something like this. Again, it's not anything spectacular, but the Temple mod adds a lot of damage, and then just as long as it fills whatever else you need, you're looking good. Boots, I think this also, yeah, you can just get something like this. Just, again, fills resistances, has move speed, has life, looks like a good pair of boots. That works. And then you, for the implicits, I would say probably drop Brittle Ground unless you have enough crit as is natively. Then you probably don't need the Brittle Ground, but I like having Brittle Ground. Increased cooldown recovery travel skills, that's just a me thing. I was flame dashing all over the place, and I wanted it to come back a bit faster, but you could, I don't remember if increased action speed is on that one, or what else is there, but there are other implicits I'm sure you could get. You could just get global cooldown recovery rate if you wanted to as well. That's also fine. Trying to think of what else is super duper important. Again, my Sanctified Relic is absolutely nothing. It's accuracy rating per frenzy charge. It doesn't do much. I'm already pretty much accuracy capped. I think when I have frenzies, I'm completely accuracy capped. So I guess it does that. For the tree, again, I think you can move points around where you want to, if you want to test some things out or try some stuff out. I think if I was going to take this character to another level, like if I got to level 95 with this character, I would be taking this medium jewel socket, and then I might honestly take points away from life I might take points away from like life somewhere, like maybe take Written in Blood away, and maybe something else, and just like kind of try to pull points somewhere else. And then I'd probably just put another projectile cluster jewel in, most likely. That, or what I would do is just take this slot and then put in another jewel like let's see, what's actually a good one? Probably this one, something like this. Or I mean, I guess I would. Yeah, something like this, except for ideally, I think it would be a critical strike multiplier with elemental skills and multi with fire skills. So just try to get as much crit multi as you possibly can. Your jewels probably look you want them to look something like this. Reduced mana cost of skills is very big. All of the skills that you're shooting out all the time, it costs a lot of mana to be doing. So you should definitely try to drive down your mana cost as much as possible. Increase life, always nice. And then just big crit multi. If you want to, you could just try to get as much crit multi as possible. That is also completely fine. Also, I need to Exalt Slam this thing. Could be spicy. So yeah, just try to hit as much crit multi as you can, like this one. This isn't spectacular. I think I legit just hit the other crit multi and then regaled it, and it hit the reduced effective curses, and I just shrugged and went, all right, whatever. I could probably Exalt Slam this too. It probably won't hit anything good, but again, it's really all you're looking for. The big cluster jewels, I will say, is probably one of the more expensive parts of the build. Fire clusters are very expensive, and same with the mediums, actually. Crit jewels are also expensive for what they are. This one's Cremator, Disorienting Display, Prismatic Heart, and I think this is probably worth a couple divines right now, if not like 5+ divines. And maybe it's not, but it again, it's expensive. It's very, very good. I would say that if you're on more of a budget, you just kind of don't want it. You're like, I can't afford that kind of thing. What the hell are you on about? I would think then in that point, try to craft it yourself. Hit Cremator. Cremator is so comfortable because it just makes your ignited enemies destroyed. Just gets rid of all the corpses. Porcupines, thing of the past. They just all get destroyed. So it's awesome. And then try to hit Prismatic Heart. I would say are probably the two that you'd want to hit. If you hit Disorienting Display, so be it. If you hit Widespread Destruction, so be it. It's fine. But I would say hit Cremator, and that's same with this one down here. Just hit Smoking Remains. Smoking Remains, another very big thing. If you can hit like Doriani's, that makes it actually a really big difference as far as Life Leech goes. Prismatic Heart again, very helpful, very strong. But these jewels again are expensive, and if you just get lucky and you hit it, then by God, there you go. The other thing is the medium clusters. Pressure points, quick getaway. Pressure points, quick getaway. If you want to, you can buy the bases. You want an eye level medium cluster crit jewel of between 50 and 67. 68 is the breakpoint when other passives start getting introduced and dilute the pool. I think they're usually right around 100C. Maybe they're more now, maybe they've gone up, but you can just alt regal it until you get what you want, which is an option, or you could just buy one. Either way, you can just try to hit pressure points, quick getaway. If you don't, and you just like, that seems good enough. I mean, I think even in the last video, I had a pressure points, basics of pain, or a quick getaway and basics of pain, or both of those in here instead of quick getaway pressure points. And I finally just rerolled these pretty recently. They're both very nice hits once you get them, but if you just get a basics of pain, that's a completely fine jewel to run with for a while there. And that's pretty much it as far as the cluster jewels go. Oh, and then the projectile one. These aren't as expensive. You can reroll this yourself. These aren't as expensive. I think it was like, I don't know, 50C or something. But you could probably reroll this yourself. You could probably find one for not that expensive. I'm not 100% sure. But Eye to Eye and Repeater, just because they're very good projectile damage, they give you increased attack speed, projectile hit damage, all that good stuff. Ooh, excuse me. And yeah, with that, I think that is basically just how this character is. This character turned out incredibly strong. I actually really enjoyed how this character turned out. I will certainly be keeping this character geared at the very least. And yeah, I'll probably come back to it at some point, maybe level it up some more, have some more fun with it. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed. Feel free to check out this build if you're interested, or again, the Ice Spear version. Ice Spear version, very strong as well, just for bossing and all that good stuff. The POB will be down below if you are interested. Feel free to like, sub, follow, all that good stuff. I'm also live on Twitch, twitch.tv/Bruce, if you're interested. And yeah, I hope you have a great day, YouTube. Thanks for watching. Sorry, it wasn't. It's just mostly a bit of a build guide and not too much of a showcase other than that. But I hope you have a great day. Bye now.